How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Weeb Lounge. I am Nick, and in this character spotlight, we are talking about the Liberator version of Nozomi. Yes, Nozomi, the one that every time she has a live stage event, half the audience dies because monsters invade. Yeah, that one. Yeah, seriously, she needs to have like a closed off event with a lot of security and just people ready to defend the crowd, because you know every time she gets up and sings along with her little group, everybody dies, and shadow monsters and beasts, and there's a raid and all this other crap. Why does she keep singing, and why do people keep going to her events? You flip a coin and you're dead at her event or whatever. It's what, like a Travis Scott concert or whatever that is. It's whatever. Yeah, worse than that. But anyways, Firefest, there we go. Anyways, this character is one person in our Discord, and of course I can never remember who said it, so whoever said it, you get credit. Just take it or whatever. But they said this is kind of like Summer Siren 2.0, and we'll get into that in very short manner. I maxed her out. I even got extra shards to take her to level 269. Look at this. It's like 69, whatever. I am way off track. I finally got some days off from work or whatever, and I'm like, hey, what do we get to do? Oh, I gotta do some videos. Okay, so we're here doing videos about, you know, the 50% chance of death stage performance thing. Whatever. Skill number 1. All right. Glowing Elation. It says glow elate or something, or I'm taking some liberties as I usually do with these skill names, but they're just kind of dumb, so I'm just Englishifying them properly, I hope. Whatever. Glowing Elation. It increases the physical attack power, crit chance, and crit damage of all allies that happen to perform critical attacks. So overall, it's just a really good buff. If you haven't guessed, this is actually a support Nozomi. You know, you had the tank one, then you had the summer one, which is a support one, then you got the Liberator one, which is a support one, and then there's what, the Christmas one, which we don't talk about. We don't talk about that one. Kind of taboo at this point, but you know, instead of killing half the audience, she kills like half the reindeers. Whatever. Skill number 2, cheer for the future. It's like, it's something else. I don't know what it is that they're trying to do here, but it's cheer for the future as far as I'm concerned. Increases the physical attack power of all allies that perform physical attacks and a slight technique point gauge charge. Now here's the caveat to this. The very first time that this skill is activated, it greatly charges all allies technique point gauge and also places a permanent physical defense debuff on all allies. Now granted, that debuff is fairly small, but the TP gauge boost is basically Summer Siren, give or take just a little bit or whatever. It's basically is. It just is. EX skill increases her physical attack power. If you couldn't imagine, yeah, 5 stars greatly increases it. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. That's just it. Union Burst, Stage of Hope. The skill actually says Hope on Stage, or a hop. It's Hope on stage, whatever. It's stupid. Stage of Hope. It's the same. If you're at her concert, you have a 50% chance of surviving, so you're going to have to go in with as much hope as you can. All right. This is what she does. Whatever. Just stop going to her events. Go to watch Hatsune Miku or something. Jeez. Your Union Burst, Stage of Hope, single target physical damage attack and small physical defense debuff. Also buffs the physical attack power of all allies that can perform physical attacks. Okay, so she buffs, she charges, she buffs, she charges a little bit, and it throws out a slight little debuff. It's actually a really good overall character. Purely utilitarian, and everything that she does is kind of nice. Really is. All right, let's go ahead and throw her into combat here. Let's see. We got to get the event going, because next video is going to be Kaya, and I need as many shards as I can just because I can. So I can. I said that a few times too many, didn't I? All right. So the comparison with Summer Siren, you know, is very much justified, because that TP gauge charge is like, it happens right off the bat, just like Summer Siren, and it's a big amount. So yay, right? It only happens the very first time she does it. After that, you know, it's a much smaller amount, but you get all these other buffs along with it. So it actually works out pretty good. And you don't have to actually waste a spot for Summer Siren, because if you think about it, Summer Siren is there for the buff. She's not doing any damage. She's not really doing much else. She's there for the speed and the technique point gauge charge, with a little bit of buffs of the other things, right? Nozomi here, Liberator Edition, kind of does that a little bit better, but only for physical groups. Summer Siren, you can put her in with any kind of group you want or whatever. Her, it's got to be physical groups. And I guess Karen and Ameth or whatever, she doesn't really jive with them very well. So like her buffs and everything, them two are actually considered magic damage, so her buffs don't affect them. But since they're also support characters, who cares, right? As long as it works for physical as well. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Her skill 2, which is the technique point gauge charge, that nearly maxes out everything. One downside of her is that she is a support, but she stands on the front line. So, you know, she's not geared as a tank. She's a support character. So maybe a little bit more than a standard DPS, but you might have to form a group where she needs to be properly protected or some kind of tank or something there. So, you know, there's a lot of hype actually about this character. You know, the damage that she does, she's not there to deal damage, but the thing is she can, and that's kind of like another thing that puts her over Summer Siren. You know, she's got all the buffs, she helps out. You still need a speed buff. Summer Siren, of course, had the speed buff. You throw somebody else in here for the speed buff, then you go, you know, you got Nozomi, you got, I don't know, Karen or whatever the heck, and even though they don't jive, they can still work, and then boom, you're good to go. Hopefully. Go like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys. This character, a lot of times I'm like, oh, do you pull the character? Do you pull the character? Well, in this case, the answer is yes. I actually can't stress this one enough. This one feels like she's getting, in my opinion, injected into the meta for like the next year or something like that. I have a feeling, right? If you need a physical group, chances are she's going to be in it. That's just how it is. We got Nozomi, we got Liberator Edition, boom, she's here. And we also have Kaya. Kaya, I'll get into later. Would them two work together? I will say yes, Kaya is the freebie character we get with the Liberator event. And we're going to probably get Muimi in a couple of weeks, right? Liberator Muimi, which of course I want. I mean, Muimi, I love Muimi. She's like she's my favorite character, basically. So are they going to make it to where she works well with Muimi? I don't doubt this. So do you spend money? Yeah, you got to get her. This is, you know, meta breaking, meta changing, whatever the heck the term is that you want to put out there or whatever. Get her, be happy, spend money if you gotta. Just, if you get a ticket to her concert, go scalp it and get some of your money back, because you'll die half the time. I guess it's okay if you respawn. We'll catch you in the next video.